Hey everyone, today is a big day because it is February 28th. It is about 65 degrees, and so I'm at my client's bees here at their alpaca farm, and we're going to be doing their first spring hive inspection, so stick around. Welcome back everybody. Today we're going to be checking on the bees. We're going to do a real quick in-hive inspection. I want to check for their food, their brood, make sure the queen is laying. And while we're here, we're going to go ahead and treat for mites and feed them at the same time because today we're putting in some Varroa. So let's go ahead and get a smoker lit and open up some hives. So I'm the type of beekeeper that I have found what really works well for me and my bees. And what that is first observing some things outside of the hives before I just go ripping into them. And the first thing is to know what's coming in, because it's a warm enough day to observe the entrances. I see that both colonies are active. That's already good news. So I know that they're alive. I don't know their status yet inside, but we will shortly here. But I know that maple's coming in. I also know that dandelion is blooming. And I also know that gill over the ground or henbit, I kind of get those two confused, but they're available as well. And so I know that enough pollen's coming in that my colonies are growing. I know that if they've got queens, she's picking up her egg laying rate. So with that understanding, I expect the insides of these colonies to reflect what's going on outside. So I always like to take stock first of what I just kind of went over with you. That's what's going on in my head when I'm beekeeping. So I'm going to go ahead and we're going to break into this one first. Just a little bit of smoke at the entrance. They know that I'm coming. And I'm going to set their quilting box to the side, and it's going to reveal their mountain camp in here. All right, so what we have is a really gross banana. They took care of a lot of it, but I'm glad I came when I did because, you know, this is the first time I've ever put banana in a colony. This banana is turned pink and it's got mold growing on it. So they didn't finish it, and I really don't like the idea of mold being in my colonies. And it's caused some mold on the newspaper, although we've got that anyways. And I think that's from the sugar in the mountain camp absorbing moisture. So we've got a little bit of cleanup here to do today, and that's okay. Seeing what works and what doesn't work in beekeeping is what it's all about. Right here, you can see how much they've worked into the fondant patty from Hive Alive. I would say of the half packet that I gave them, it's about 60% gone. So I'm going to pick this up real gentle. They always attach stuff like this to the top bars. And I'm just going to lean it up against the shim I've got over here. And I'm going to smoke these girls a little bit because when I start ripping up newspaper, it might annoy a few of them. So that's going to help me. And I'm going to run my hive tool just along the edges. And it's not important to get every single bit of newspaper, but a lot of it. Anything like this, they'll chew up into itty bitty pieces and carry out on their own. So I'm going to get the majority of it. Because I want to see what they've got inside. So just looking down, I can see bees between 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 6.5 frames. They're right here. So coming through winter, that's not bad because I'm pretty sure that's the same amount that they went into with. Neither one of these colonies was a full 10 frame colony going into winter. So the fact that they're not less than that is good news. And since I've taken that newspaper off, now the top of these frames can dry out a little bit. Okay. Oh, I love it. This is the first time I've been able to look in here since October. Okay, so first frame, we got a little bit of nectar in, not much. I didn't expect to see much on that one, but I do look forward to seeing what's on this. And I can tell you right now, the demeanor of these bees tells me that they have a laying queen. Let's see if that confirms what I'm talking about. So here's what we got left for food. At least on this frame. We got some capped honey up top, a little bit of open nectar they're bringing in right now, down in there. And on this side, a little bit of capped honey. And this is a great time of year when you work down to the bottom box. I love to, once an inspection is over with, smoke them a little bit, take the box off, clean off that bottom board because it's covered in things that they've been dropping all winter long. Cleaning off a bottom board is a hygienic behavior on behalf of the beekeeper, and it helps airflow, in my opinion. Ooh, there's a frame full of pollen. I'm going to show this to you, and then I'm going to tell you what it means. All right, you can see all that is primarily maple. I know it by the color, and because I know what's blooming right now. And there's probably some dandelion mixed in with it, but we have more maple than dandelion right now. And then on the outside of this frame, we still have capped honey. So they never used all their honey stores. But here's the thing I was going to tell you. When you see a frame like this, a wall of pollen, that means the next frame in is going to be brood. How do I know that? Because I've seen enough hives to know how they structure their colonies. Plus, you know, brood is generally in the middle. And we're working to the 5th frame from this side in. And so if they've got brood, this is where it's going to be. All right, nice and gentle, because also it's probably where the queen is. And there's our brood. I see capped brood, larvae, eggs. So I know that they have a laying queen. And of course they've peppered this with pollen as well. There's our marked queen from last year. Right there she is. She's doing well. Welcome to spring. And I would be satisfied with calling it at this. Like, I don't need to go further, but I'm going to go one more frame because I want to know how much brood they have. And I'm glad that I did because this one's got a surprise on it. Remember, it's February 28 where I am. And right there, we've got drones cooking. And a pretty solid pattern of worker brood. I'm proud of that. That looks really good. It means last year we did a good job in getting our mite count down. And we're going to be working on mites again today to keep that count even lower. And when you see a frame like this, there's likely to be brood on the next frame. And just looking down here, I can see that this frame on the inside is more capped brood. So you see right there in the sunlight, I'm gonna blow on those bees a little. They didn't really move. Anyways, that surface there, right there, is capped brood. So they're well on their way to growing. We do have a little bit of a breeze today, but it's not enough to chill brood. So I'm not concerned about harming the colony. So I'm going to put this back. I'm going to take this larger chunk of newspaper just because I can, making it easier for my bees, less work for them. Sweet. All right. And bees tend to crawl into areas that you don't necessarily want them. That's what partly the smoker is for. So it had technical malfunction with the camera. I'm going to bring you up to speed. I put all the frames back. We verified a queen. They've finished their mountain camp. I got the majority of the newspaper out of the way and I've replaced their fondant patty, what's left, here towards the back. This Varroa pouch is designed to go up front. You remove this label, squeeze out the liquid, they start feeding. I'm not going to do that. They got a lot going on up here. I'm going to show you how I'm going to apply this Varroa pouch to them, and it's going to be a little bit different. Well, as you guys can see, we're no longer at my client's apiary. We're back on my own. had a technical glitch, but we're not going to let that stop us. I'm still going to show you how I like to apply Varroa. It's a little bit of an easier way, and I think it's a more quick method of getting it into the colony when it matters most, which I'm going to remind you is when they're storing fresh nectar around the brood nest. So my feeders are in the back of the colony. I'm going to take this one, and all I'm going to do is cut open my Varroa pouch here in the corner, just a small cut. Peel the rest of that away. That was cool. And I'm going to fold it and then just let it pour real easy right down into the jar. Now it's not going to fill the jar by any means, and if you do it this way, you can go ahead and give them the full dose, which is going to be 2 of these pouches. Today, you know, I'm not that busy, and I don't feel like putting another one in here. Plus, I'm limited on how many pouches I have, and I haven't done a count, so I want to make sure that all of my colonies get at least 1. So that's pretty much mostly drained. I could even cut this open, lay it out, and the bees would come and lick up the rest of it. But I'll show you how much we got. This is considered a 5-pound honey jar, and we're about a little over a 1/4, not quite a 1/3 of the way full. Got a few dead bees in here from winter time. Tomorrow I'm getting into these colonies for the first time, so I'm excited. I'll be making a video about that. Plus, we're going to be utilizing the new tool I've been hinting at. So now we're just going to put this in the back of my bottom boards, because my bottom boards are special ones. And in fact, let me just bring you around and show you if you've never seen before. I like to feed my colonies from the back for a couple reasons. One is I don't get in their flight path while doing this. And 2, I got rid of the large entrance at the front of my colonies, so I don't have to worry about entrance reducers anymore. I've just got holes drilled in my boxes. Now, the last thing I want to go over today is kind of an important thing. I've got a lot of feedback about through my YouTube channel here, comments saying, I'm not putting that RNA stuff in my hive. Who knows what it'll do when it gets into the honey, and then me or my customers eat that honey. Well, I mean, there's a valid point there, because I haven't seen any research showing what happens when humans consume that. But here's what I say. 1, you know, I don't want to eat it either, so I get it. But 1, it's specifically designed to attack specific RNA sequence in Varroa mite. 2, in my opinion, if you're applying it when you're supposed to, this will be long gone by the time you harvest honey. And I don't mean almost, you know, not any overlap at all. Like, it should be completely consumed out of the comb, out of the bees, all the way gone before you have a honey flow. And so, in my opinion, it's worth neutering a few Varroa mites to get this in my colony. And yeah, maybe research one day will show that that's completely wrong. But until it does, all I have is the research that they currently have available, and it doesn't cause any concern for me personally. But if it does for you, definitely don't use it. There's other methods that work. Oxalic acid is by far my favorite in conjunction with Varroa. But until then, maybe share with everyone down below your favorite way of dealing with mites. I appreciate you guys joining me in 2 apiaries today, and I will see you in the next video. I'm Dr. out.